Greetings everyone, welcome back. In the last video I drew a bunch of little minions and kind of got interested in this right here as a little scene. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. I don't know if I've ever seen the minions act like that before, dressed up like a flower and a bumblebee. And I thought, well, I mean, I don't need this stuff for references. I mean, you guys already got to see these. These are two different versions of Hot Wheels Transformer Bumblebee cars. And at one point you would have seen this McDonald toy bee from the Minecraft movie. Let's see if that'll come out of there nicely. Which I think is kind of hilarious. Look at that thing. I guess the wings kind of flap. Anyway, that's kind of funny. I don't think that's going to sit up there. Oh, well, for a moment. Well, that's funny too. So let's see. Not perfect. Anyway, so I have one of these, which is one of those custom cards that are pretty easy to make. It's the envelope that I made for one as well. And I thought, well, why not finish off the minion ideas with doodling something on one of these cards, and then, you know, at some point I can just give it away or whatever. So I'm going to start off with something silly and fun. And I didn't pre-sketch anything on it, so if there's mistakes to be made, well, we're going to make mistakes, and that's just how it is. It's handmade, right? Here we go. I think the first thing to start off with what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the minion goggles. And lucky for me, while I'm doing this, as you probably saw, I wear those, so everything looks minion yellow anyway. So that's exciting. I'm going to try to do the eyes kind of big for this one. Let's go a little bit bigger for that pupil on that side. And I was going to put a couple of dots like that. Sort of like a reflection bubble. And I'm going to start off by making a few dots for the iris. Then I'll put some lines in there too. This is just to give me an idea of the size of the eye that I'm kind of going for. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be okay. It's funny, whenever you try to draw cute things, sometimes you have to think, well, do they have to have big eyes to be cute? I suppose. It's one of those instinct things. You know, like babies look like they have big eyes. So I guess it's supposed to make you want to take care of them. I don't know. There's a whole psychology behind this kind of stuff. T-Rex probably has really big eyes. I don't know if you want to take care of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Anyway, just for fun, I'm going to put a lower eyelid like that. So I suppose it just seems like slightly more fun off the top of my head to draw a two-eyed minion. Not always. And again, I don't always draw minions, so there you go. I don't mind that so much. Now, just trying to think of where I'm going to place certain things. I'm going to draw the hands a little bit differently. So basically, it's just like a ball, and then the fingers I'm just going to use other smaller sort of ball for each one. Just like that. And this will be part of the glove. I think that's probably an easier way to look at their hands, because I think for my sort of way of looking at things, I like to think of, you know, the phalanges having these extra parts to them. I don't know if the minions really need that. So we don't have to put them in. Have the mouth open just a little bit. Yes. Do you have a favorite minion? Is there such a thing? I think a lot of people like to have favorites of things. I think some people like Kevin. I'm also going to put another hand here. Just like that. Gloves. Okay. Now, right now I'm just adding sort of like what could be a little bit of shade in there, but it's not really necessary. I'm just doing it for fun. Next, I need to figure out a couple other things. The idea that I have, right now is those strange little pictures of babies dressed up like flowers. I know some people really like them. So that's kind of what I have as an idea. Oh, I haven't been counting these either, mind you. It's kind of silly. Okay. It's kind of messy looking. That's okay. I'm going to the inside. I'm going to go over here. Oh, that's my buddy Neville. I don't know if you just heard him in the background. Sometimes Neville talks. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm drawing that minion that we had on the other page here. This time he's running away. And we're going to have one hand here. We're going to go with that same sort of technique for drawing a minion hand. It's not super highly defined. Interesting. I think it would have been probably funnier to have the head tip back just a little bit. But I think what I'm going to do to try to compensate that, I'm going to bend the body of the minion just a little bit. Something like that. Almost looks like he's running fast. Maybe we're losing a pedal here. Then up here, this is where we're going to have another minion. But will it be a one-eyed minion? It's been a little while probably, huh? Might as well have a one-eyed minion. So with this, I think it is rather silly. I apologize, I'm not very talkative while I'm doing this. Let's see here. Device is swinging around on me. In a way, I think it's much funnier to have smaller wings. Let's say that you'd have to use tape and glue and a bunch of other things. I think this one's pretty silly. Still, in a lot of ways, it's kind of a doodle. But one that I can kind of clean up a little bit. Ball for the hand. Kind of close it in a little bit like a fist. And then we'll have this one suspended just a little bit like a thumbs up almost. I think that's pretty silly. Something about this one, to me, kind of reminds me of something, I don't know, maybe a little Dr. Seuss-like. I'm not sure what's going on with it. And if I can clean it up enough to still pass it along to somebody as a fun card. Darken these boots just a little bit too. Now, I think the fun thing next is to kind of clean up some of the image a little bit, since we did no pre-penciling with it. So I'm going to darken the outside lines. That way it kind of makes it seem as if it was purposefully done this way. And yes, we did do it on purpose, but it hides the little scratchy lines a little bit too. I should tell you, my intention with the petals of these leaves, or sorry, the petals of this flower, I wanted to kind of model it a little bit after daisies. The center of the daisy is yellow, just like a minion. That was my intention. Now I feel like my buddy Neville's about to say something again. Maybe. Huh. He actually just kind of looked at me, and almost like he nodded his head. That was unusual, because he often will talk. I don't know if you can see what I mean when I say it seems intentional when you darken those lines. Now, in here, this is where I'm going to finish off where the strap goes. That hold the goggles onto the head. And we have to assume that the other side of the face has smaller petals from this vantage point, so we're not really going to be able to see them. Now we'll work on the eyes and goggles just a little bit. Again, to make it seem as if we had intentions of it looking a certain way. We meant for this to happen. And of course we did. And while you're working on it, feel free to stick your tongue out a little bit too. Like you're Michael Jordan flying through the sky. You fully mean what you're doing. It's funny, there was a point while I was doing this where I thought, I don't know if I like this very much. I'm going to dip my pen again. But the more personality that I put into it, the more I'm kind of liking it. I'm not sure who I'm going to give this to. I have a good idea, But we'll see. Chances are that person might be watching this video right now. I won't go too extreme with that. Outline the boots just a little bit. I actually considered getting one of the minions to wear Chuck Taylors, because I wear Chuck Taylors. Well, I did not. They kind of wear work boots. That's kind of what they do. Work on these petals that are flying, and then we'll get moving along to finishing off the card. So if you had a chance, I hope you got to draw along with me. I think the next thing that I need to try to figure out before I'm done with this one is, do I want to have those little teardrops? Why not? We'll put in a couple. But they're not really teardrops, right? They could be sweat. They could be, well, they could be teardrops, I suppose. We could even put one down here like that. Bloop. We don't have to put them everywhere. We'll hide one in here. We'll hide one in here. And we'll hide one down here. Not really hidden though. If we wanted to, we could have a little bit of drool coming out of the mouth. I'll put one over here too. Now, we'll finish off this flying one here. The bee minion. We'll smooth out the boots just a little bit. Smooth them out. I suppose if I really wanted to smooth things out, I could get out my paintbrush and water. Which is something that I would most often do. I do believe bees technically have 4 wings. This is just a costume, so we're not going too accurate for the minions anyway. So let me know down in the comments, if you wish, what you think of that. If that is silly enough. Okay. You know, as much as I like that bumblebees can fly, I'm going to have to consider that this particular bumblebee is going to need jetpacks. Because minions don't really fly. If that makes sense. We'll clean that up a little bit. I think that's kind of funny. Oh, of course. We got to make sure that we are aware of the danger. Final thing is I'm going to do the face of the card and just make sure that everything that I want it to be will be there. I know this seems like it's going to be a long video, and yes, it kind of is. But at the same time, as I will always say, you can kind of skip ahead if you want, or you can check to see how long the video is, and then you know how much time you can spend hanging out with me, which is fine too. You can work on your other projects. I'm going to have the occasional one sticking out up above here as well. But I assure you this is coming to an end soon. Quickly trace around the outside to show that we were intentional with what we did. Which is always good. Huh. What do you think, Jan? Is this one outrageous? Is this one ridiculous? I don't know. Neville hasn't said anything. So I don't know what's up with that cat. You know, I could have just made it so that there were like 7 petals. I don't know why I went for so many. I mean, yeah, that was my intention. Have an unnecessary amount. Oh, I gotta dip the pen. Have an unnecessary amount of petals. This one folds over the arm just a little bit. This one has a bit of shade underneath the arm. This one's flattened out. Okay. I think that should be it, really. To go much further may not be necessary. I'm not going to fill it out right now. I'll put something in the thumbnail just for the fun of it. But I'm going to try to save what's going on for who it's for. So it's a surprise at least for that person when they get it. There you are. I'm going to show you what inspired it, which is this one here, which I think is pretty silly. If that looks like it's running, I don't know. And here you are, and I'll just make up something silly to say, like, you know, take the time to enjoy the beautiful things in life. And then when you open it up, it could say like, or run for your life if you're allergic to bees. Something like that. But I think one of the other final things, I would have to add stripes, because I was just looking at this, that has stripes on it. Well, I'll figure that out, because yeah, I don't know if I want to have like little tiny stripes here. Maybe, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, I'll figure that out, because I could do a little bit now. No, I'll leave it alone for now. And then at some point in the future, I may show you what I've done. Or I might do a part 2, because I mean, it's already been an hour of this silly thing. All right. Anyway, again, thanks a lot for hanging out. And perhaps we'll see you again at some time in the future. And yeah, I think that's pretty fun. All right, folks. Boo. I hope you have a wonderful day.